Hey everyone, this is Wrecker, back with another build video. So, one that I'm sharing with you guys today is a setup that I personally use for farming XP levels as fast as possible in the most efficient way. Why I say that is because you can basically one-tap anything and everything. Heroic with all directives active is a piece of cake for this build. And especially when the global event Reanimated drops, it's even better because this event basically forces you to take out enemies with headshots, and if you don't, it's gonna resurrect the same enemy you just killed only for you to kill it again. But that's not happening with this setup because the synergy we have between the weapon talents and the gear pieces we're running, you will be chain killing body shots as headshots for days. So yeah, with that being said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's begin. Okay, so starting off with the specialization, of course, we are running a marksman rifle build, and what else to run than sharpshooter? We're getting 15% increased headshot damage, then we get a flashbang grenade. By the way, this is really good. I believe this has the most radius of all grenades, but that's what I have seen. Then we get 15% increased weapon stability, that's weapon handling all over, so that's really good. Then we get an armor kit, 100% repairs armor, but also removes status effects, including resistance to bleed, poison, and burn, so that's really handy. Then we are getting 10% additional headshot damage to our team members if they are close to an enemy than us, so that's really good. Then it says extra armor gain while in cover. I don't know how much is that because it doesn't say a percentage or an amount, right? It just says extra armor while in cover, so I don't know. Let me know if you guys know this, but there you have it. Then lastly, after 20 seconds in cover, you're getting 5 ammo every 10 seconds, so that's really handy, just like Gunner. So lastly, make sure you have the right weapon stacked in your weapons tree. For me, that's of course a marksman rifle, and my secondary is a shotgun. So yeah, that's the specialization we're running here. Okay, so starting off with the weapons, I am personally using the SRSA-1 marksman rifle. Now I know this isn't a very popular weapon when it comes to one-shotting builds, but for me it works really good because it has a bigger mag, faster RPM, and only a tiny bit damage drop off than the most popular, the White Death. Of course, if you want to run that, you can run that, but for me personally, this feels really good when using it. It's very fast and doesn't have much recoil like we do in the White Death. So with all the weapon handling and all requisition attributes that we have on the entire setup, it's basically a laser beam. So if I show you the accuracy stats here, you can see it's almost maxed out, full accuracy and full stability, only a tiny bit away from fully maxed out, right? So that's why it feels like a laser beam, as you will see in the gameplay. But anyhow, attributes, marksman rifle, headshot damage, and of course damage status out of cover. The talent that we have to run with this setup, that's very important because this build isn't going to perform as good if you don't run this talent. It's called Determined. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on an enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So basically, just take one headshot. You just have to get one kill with a headshot, and all the remaining kills, even if you shoot the enemy in the toe, it's gonna count as a headshot, and it keeps chain killing body shots as headshots. So that's amazing. I don't know if they're gonna nerf it or not, but I saw on their Trello board they're still investigating it, so who knows, they might change it in the future, but presently it's working really fun and good to use, right? So this is the marksman rifle primarily I'm running. For the secondary, doesn't really matter. I am personally running the Scorpio because it's a very good shotgun as a backup. So let's say, for example, an enemy runs up to you or you are in a sticky situation. This can get you out of there, right? So mine is fully maxed out, but you don't have to because again, 90% of the time we are not using this, but mine is fully maxed out, 23% additional weapon damage from the expertise rank, shotgun damage, damage to armor, crit damage, and you know what it does. A bunch of status effects to basically dissipate enemies and keep them in one place so you can get out of it, and that's about it. So yeah, these are the two weapons we're running on this setup. As for the sidearm, of course, as always, I'm running my orbit to get any of the bursts if I need to, although we don't have to. We don't really need crit chance or crit damage bonus numbers here because we are fully stacked into headshot damage and weapon handling, but it's a really good weapon to have if you want to boost up those crit numbers during combat. That's a really handy weapon to have. So you don't have to run orbit, just run any pistol with the finisher talent and you're good to go. Okay, so starting off with the gear pieces, of course we are running 4-piece hotshot gear set. 3-piece gets us 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling. So right off the start we are getting really good attributes from this gear set. The 3-piece gets us plus 30% headshot damage, again really good damage boost here. The 4-piece is the main talent for the gear set, it's called a headache. I'm not going to read through this because in short basically it's giving you bonus attributes depending on how long you can keep your headshots. So let's say for example on the first headshot it's going to give you additional headshot damage, and the second one it's going to give you armor, and it goes on, right? So you only have to make sure you're not missing out anything. If you miss a headshot it's going to reset the whole talent, right? But what if I tell you you won't be missing out any shots, because again determined how it works is it's going to keep chain killing body shots as headshots. So that's why you won't be missing out any headshots even if you are not intentionally shooting enemies in the head, which you will see in the gameplay. It synergizes all very well. For the bottom part, it says 4th headshot forward, agents will get all 3 bonuses for each consecutive headshot. Again, even if you miss it, you won't get rid of this buff because it's still gonna consider that you are getting headshots even if you are hitting the enemies in the body, right? So that's the full talent actually, and it synergizes very well with the determined talent. If you are not running determined, I don't think this whole talent is any worth it for my personal testing. But anyhow, there you have it. For the attributes, of course, all reds, but weapon damage, headshot damage, and a headshot damage mod in there. Same thing for the gloves, weapon damage, headshot damage. Same thing for the knee pads, weapon damage, headshot damage. And lastly, same exact attributes for the holster, weapon damage, headshot damage. Okay, so for the chest piece, of course, no one-shot build is complete without this chest piece. Not necessarily this chest piece, but the talent that it comes with. Of course, the chain killer chest piece comes from Walker and Harris. Brand said the 1 piece gets us 5% weapon damage, that's very helpful. The attributes, of course, weapon damage, weapon handling, and headshot damage, then again a headshot damage mod in there. Of course, if you have any other extra slots on your build, which I believe this is the only piece you can run an extra attribute because it's a gold piece, I would highly recommend running weapon handling. Do not go into crit chance or crit damage, that's not gonna help you. Even if you don't crit, you will still one-shot anything if it's not wearing a helmet. So even named bosses, if they are not wearing a helmet, you will still one-shot them, even non-crits. So yeah, the talent, of course, that the chain killer comes with, it's called Perfect Hunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. So keep in mind, this only boosts your overall weapon damage. It doesn't boost up any other numbers. So on the final one, it's gonna boost it up to 150% to give you a huge damage bonus here. Now, the bottom part says damage is capped to 800% of your weapon damage. Now again, this is talking about your entire weapon damage number from your entire setup, right? That's gonna cap it to 800. But if you have your headshot damage attribute more than 150%, and for us we are way up high. I mean the lowest we have on one of our weapons is I believe 200 or something, right? So we are not worried about that. We are way past 150. So because of that, it's gonna raise the damage cap for our weapon damage up to 1250%. So that's why we're getting full advantage of the full damage buff here from the Headhunter talent. So again, because of the synergy between hotshot and also the determined talent, your headhunter buff won't go away, because again it only goes away if you miss a headshot, which you again will not be, because determined is registering each body shot as a headshot. So enough of that. That's the chest piece we're running here. Lastly, for the backpack, of course we are running the Memento backpack here. For me personally, this is the build I run mostly solo, so we will be running around most of the time. We won't be sitting in cover like 50% of the time, because the marksman rifle I am using is very fast. I can shoot and kill enemies even while running and stuff, right? I don't have to sit in cover like we have to for White Death most of the time, because you have to scope in 90% of the time, right? So that's why I would highly recommend running Memento instead of Vigilance, because if you are running around, you are not gonna have the full damage buff from Vigilance, because it gets deactivated if you get a hit, right? And especially in this setup with the reanimated event active, including 5 directives on heroic, I highly doubt you're gonna get away without getting hit. So there's no point running Vigilance, but it's personal preference. For me, the utility that the Memento brings to the entire build, weapon damage, armor buffs, and also skill tier buffs, right? The skill attributes that we get from the Memento, the skill efficiency, that's way more beneficial than having just 25% weapon damage. For me personally, that's my opinion, but if you don't want to run Memento, that's your call. Just run any damage backpack with Vigilance and you're good to go. But for me, that's the one to run. For the mod slot, we're running headshot damage, of course, and as I said earlier, it gives you 3% armor regen, 30% weapon damage, 30% bonus armor, all that good stuff with just one backpack. So again, I would highly recommend running this. So yeah, that's the backpack we're running. Okay, so for the skills, let me go through them real quick. For the first one, I'm using the decoy. Of course, that's really handy. You can just put it out there and it comes back really quick. I believe the cooldown is 22 seconds here, yeah, but with the Memento buff, it will come back faster. So that's another advantage running Memento. So since we do have one skill tier, we are getting 15% duration, 50% health, and plus 15% threat attribute here. For the mods, I'm running 7.5% health and plus 7.5% duration to keep it up longer. That's really good, especially if you're running any sniper builds. A decoy is a really good skill to run with these setups. Okay, for my second skill, I'm running the Bulwark Shield. Of course, you might be thinking, why am I running the Bulwark Shield on a sniper build? Yes, this is just a backup. I don't use it, but let's say, for example, just like Scorpio as a backup weapon, if some enemy gets too close to me or is about to kill me, just in case, I don't think I have had that happen to me that often, because the armor regen and all the bonus armor and stuff keeps you off most of the time. But just in case, I pull up a shield and it comes back with my pistol and you're good to go. So you're in a sticky situation, you can get out of it real quick. But just personal preference, you can run whatever you prefer. For the mods, I'm running shield health all over and also holster regen on the mod slots. Okay, so before I jump into the full overview for the entire setup, let me show you the stats real quick on our primary weapon, the SRS-A1 marksman rifle. For the base damage, we are sitting at 898k, but keep in mind these are base numbers. With the Memento buff fully stacked up, this will go up way higher. We're talking 30% additional weapon damage here. So for the headshot damage numbers, for this one we are sitting at 256%. That's more than enough to proc Headhunter bonus damage numbers here, right? If I switch to my Scorpio, that too is still sitting at 175% headshot damage, even though we are not really using that, but there you have it. For our sidearm, 230% headshot damage, so that's insanely good. Lastly, for our TAC 50, and I would highly recommend getting the first headshot to keep the buffs going with attack 50. That's really handy. So it doesn't matter how tanky the enemy is, you can still take it out in one shot with attack 50. So that's confirmed. So a whopping 330% headshot damage on our attack 50. So that's insanely good. So yeah, these are the numbers we're running. And lastly, let me show you some of the other attributes that really help out when using the marksman rifle fast and quick, right? As you can see here, 53% reload speed bonus, so we're getting 2-second reload time. Again, these will increase with the memento buffs, right? Then we get 63% accuracy, 78% stability, and overall we are sitting at 43% weapon handling. So these are really good stability numbers, especially when running a marksman rifle, because it does help out with the handling and stuff. So yeah, these are the stats for the entire build. Okay, so this is the full build, everyone. We are running the sharpshooter specialization. For the primary, I'm running the SRS A1 marksman rifle with the talent determined. For the secondary, the Scorpio. For the sidearm, I'm running my Orbit. We are using 4-piece hotshot on the mask, on the gloves, on the knee pads, and the holster. For the chest piece, I'm running the named Chain Killer chest piece with the perfect Headhunter talent on it. And of course, lastly, the Memento backpack. For the skills, I am personally running the decoy and a shield, but personal preference, run what you prefer. So yeah, that's the entire build, everyone. It is insanely good, especially with currently running the reanimated global event. Try it out and you're gonna love this, I can assure you. So with that being said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy the gameplay. See ya!